Hello and welcome to this week's episode of John's Garage. Before we jump into this week's episode, hit that subscribe button. Let's grow this channel. It's growing consistently and I'm so happy with that. So thank you all to the people who've subscribed right up to now. Second thank you also goes to Andrew and the team down in slatterysgarage.ie. He sent me a text last night. He said, John, I have a weird car. It's interesting, it's unusual, and you ain't going to see it anywhere else. And to the best of his knowledge, this car hasn't been reviewed by anybody here in Ireland. So I jumped in my car and got straight down here after work. Next up, as well, if you own a garage and you have interesting cars and you would like those interesting cars in your garage to be on John's Garage on YouTube, please send me an email, the email address linked underneath the video. And with that, let's jump into this week's review. Subscribe! Jump in! Let's go! Okay, so you're very welcome to the test drive of the DS9. First thing I'm going to tell you is that there's a very good reversing camera with all your little lines to help you park and line up with the space, but there's also a 360 view given on that reversing camera, which is really, really handy when you're parking such a big car in a tight spot. So what does this feel like to drive? Well, my impression of it is that this car is for somebody who wants to be transported in comfort, okay? The glass is a little bit thicker and it shields you a lot from the road and the noise and the wind and traffic noise and all that quite a bit. The suspension is quite supple when it decides to be, and I mean that in the nicest way, because of course it is computer controlled. It's just telling me my fuel level's a little bit low, okay? So gentle warning there. Transmission, it shifts very, very smooth between all 8 gears. Be really honest, this car, and I've said this before about the DS range, is aimed at somebody who maybe is doing a lot of mileage and just wants something very, very comfortable, or else somebody who just wants a comfortable, calm, relaxing experience behind the wheel, okay? You're not going to get something here which is for chucking around, okay, or for sports car like performance. Although I will say it does actually have, when you put it in sports mode, the acceleration is actually pretty good. Now for the size of car it is and the power that's in it, it's around 7 seconds 0 to 100, which in anyone's book is not too bad at all, considering it's such a large saloon car. Now, I've done a bit of reading up on this. I actually can't find any Irish reviewer that's reviewed this car yet. Now I could be wrong, and I'm not going to claim I'm the only one, but I haven't been able to find anybody else who's tested it on Irish roads. I have seen people who have tested it on international roads and in international surfaces and so on and so forth. And I had a look at some of the comparisons that they were trying to draw with these. Price point, it's in base model E-Class territory. Okay, so like an E200 or E220 CDI or CDI hybrid, in and around there is where it's coming in at. Do I think it's as nice as an E-Class? It depends on what you kind of believe to be nice. It has no sporty pretensions. It's not trying to be sporty. It's trying to be executive. It's trying to be avant-garde in terms of styling. And I think there it succeeds very, very well. To me, it's a lot more entertaining and interesting inside than an E-Class. But I know some people will just want an E-Class, and that's fine too if that's what you want. I saw other people comparing it to... What is going on up here? We're at a junction, folks, with 2 lanes, and somebody's just stopped in the middle and wants to turn right. Of course, nobody can go anywhere with this, but anyway. The other car, sorry for my little bitch and whinge, the other car that it's compared to is right in front of me. It's a Skoda Superb. They say, I've read a couple of reviews and they say, oh, if you want luxury, buy a Skoda Superb. I'm going to tell you something now, folks. I had a job where I was repping for 3 months, and after that I came to my senses. But for those 3 months, I had a brand new Skoda Superb, and I can tell you that this is no Skoda Superb. I didn't actually review the car for the channel. I was going to, but I'll be really honest, folks. I struggled to find anything that I could say that was nice. And I know people love their Skoda Superbs. I just found it really uncomfortable. It really wasn't a nice place to be. It was cold. Everything felt tin. It felt like it was trying to look nice, but just wasn't nice. Anyway, back to the car. What else can I tell you here? Well, I kind of said I had no sporty pretensions, but then again, it's called the Performance Line. It also has a flat bottom steering wheel. There is speed in this car, but it's not a car you're going to chuck around turns. Next up, styling inside. There's this diamond pattern appears everywhere. Okay, it's as if DS got obsessed with diamond shapes. Maybe they're becoming Masonic or something like that, and that's part of it. I don't know. What I do like though is this slab-fronted dashboard. Very flat, very deep. Makes you sit down as if you're in something very, very co-setting. It reminds me of the very first Mercedes CLS saloon back in the mid to early 2000s. Okay, had a very similar feel to it as well. The controls, everything falls easy to hand. Like, I personally like the fact that these are textured and that these are here. I find it really easy to find everything that I want. Automatic handbrake is there, cruise control, flappy paddles for increasing the regeneration. You have your gear stick from an E208. I'm not impressed about that, but it is there, it does function. It is quite nice to actually have a gear stick nowadays because they're all switching to buttons. And I was driving recently a Hyundai Kona and it just felt wrong. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like a car. You have a lovely, big, huge sat-nav here in front of you. They've dispersed with dials. We're back to comfort. We're back to something that's pretty special. We don't need dials. We have a good sat-nav system. As I say, I've read complaints from people who say that this system isn't very, very intuitive. I can see nothing wrong. I press all the buttons. Everything works exactly as it should. So I'm not entirely sure what that's about, okay? But that's what people say. And these people are paid to say it. I'm not being paid to say it. That is the difference, okay? Bins are all here. It is quite a comfortable place to be. It's quite a nice place to be. Electric seats, lots of adjustment. Everything works exactly as you expect it to. And I don't know what's going on, folks. I'm trying to take this car for a drive and the traffic is just going nowhere. Now we've trucks up on footpaths. But you know what? I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed because I'm in the DS9. Everything is cool. Everything is relaxed. The world is a lovely place to be, and we like being in the world, okay? We don't actually run around in panics in the world. It's nice not to be in a saloon that's trying to be sporty, that's jiggling you around and that's breaking your back every time you go over a manhole. This just does it. No fuss, no drama. It's all cool, it's all collected, it's all calm, okay? And of course, this is calmness being brought to you by DS Automobiles, who are under the Gowan importing distributors here in Ireland, who also import Opels, Peugeots, Citroën, and so on and so forth. Peugeots, did I say Peugeots? Oh, Fiat, Alfa Romeo, Jeep, all those different brands. I've left all those out. But anyway, it would be great if they sent me down a car to test drive. I wouldn't say no. Anyway, what else can I tell you about the car? It's just a relaxing, cool place to be. I'm going to shut up now because I just really want to get out of this bloody traffic. It goes apart. I'm going to be talking about the DS. The DS is really nice. I wouldn't personally prefer it over DS7, but that's because I just think the DS7 is really cool. It is a high price point for this car, circa 72,000 for a new one of these on the road. However, DS are very, very clear. They're not going looking for sales numbers. This is a flagship model. Those who wish to have it will buy it. Okay, so they're not going out of their way trying to sell loads of cars. They reckon the people who want it will buy it. Okay, now that goes back to how can they afford to do that? Well, that goes back to the part sharing part, where this is an elongated Peugeot 508. Filled with a lot of tech and has its own individual touches then, like this beautiful clock. I love the clock, okay, and all the diamond finishes and all the Alcantara. This is how DS can afford to do this, okay? They can afford to push the boat out. Now in Europe, this is pretty popular model, okay, along with all the rest of the DS range, okay? Ooh, apparently I have to hold the steering wheel. The car is given out to me. And yeah, it's a lovely car. Here in Ireland, do I think this car will succeed? I really wish it would, and I'm going to wish DS Automobiles all the best. Now, what I will say is, their SUVs I'm seeing very, very commonly here on the roads in Tipperary and North Tip, mainly down to the work of the dealer, who of course contacted me and said, you can have this car today. And that is Slattery's Garage, and you can check out their stock on slatterysgarage.ie. This car is going to be appearing there very, very soon. Okay, it's just arrived in today, so it hasn't had a chance to go up to the website yet, but by the time this video comes out, this car will be on the website and it'll be for sale, and it's got just over 9,000 kilometers, and it belonged to Peugeot, a Peugeot management car, Stellantis management car up in Dublin. So it's been looked after and has everything done that it needs done. It's a very nice car, and whoever gets it is going to be very, very lucky. Now, what else can I say to you? Yeah, I really hope DS automobiles succeed with this car. I think it's just a little bit out of step with what the market wants right now. I personally love a big saloon. I don't know whether anybody else is going to love a big saloon, especially, and that's why I'm kind of saying the DS7 I think is the better car to go for right now. It's more in tune with what the market wants, okay? And it's a great little step up if you have a 3008 and want to step up to something considerably fancier. You could do no worse than the DS7. Now, what else can I say? Listen, the car, it's 1.6 petrol turbocharged plug-in hybrid. I can tell you right now, I'm just going to flick here at the computer, this car is returning 3 litres per 100 kilometres. That's not bad at all, okay? That isn't bad at all, so I'm pretty impressed with that. So, with that, it's a short review. I'll let you go. I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye, folks.